What's goody, Shellitronnn here. You can call me Shells, and I'm back at again with a brand new video, and I'm gonna keep it a Bowberry biscuit. They said it couldn't be done. They told me it could not be done, but once again, for the second week in a row, these Carolina Panthers are victorious. I don't think I saw a single sports, news, publication, media outlet predict a Panthers win this week. But the Carolina Panthers proved once again that it does not matter if these professional sports experts believe in us. All it took was a week or two to get used to the system, to get used to the play calling, to get used to the flow of the NFL game, because keep in mind, not only is the head coach new, not only is the offensive coordinator new, but the defensive coordinator is new, and we have a brand new quarterback. We are under a much different circumstance than a lot of these other teams in the NFL. Most have a quarterback they've had for a while now, and if not, they've had a coaching staff or at least ownership that's been a while for an established period of time. There's a culture in place, so they have a slight advantage when it comes to those sort of, culture and foundation pieces around their franchise. But we showed last week, and again just a few hours ago against the Cardinals, that those things might just be just a little bit overrated, because these Panthers, who people thought were tanking, these Panthers, who people thought had no shot in this game or very many others in this season, are proving they actually have pride and have no intentions of purposely losing games that are 100% winnable. In this game between the Panthers and the Cardinals, a few messages got sent around the league. The 5,100 fans who got tickets to see the Panthers today were witnesses to something immaculate. Okay, a win 21-31 against these Cardinals, who actually had DeAndre Hopkins in the lineup. There's a lot of talk about D-Hop and Christian Kirk maybe not playing. They would be game day decisions. It came out on Saturday. Cliff Kingsbury said that he was going to leave it up to D-Hop whether or not he was going to play in this game. And if you leave it up to him or to any other athlete, they're going to want to play, okay? They're always going to want to play in these games, no matter if they're hurt or not. But if you're an athlete and you choose to play, no one cares if you were hurt, okay? No one cares if you were hurt. You have to perform. And what we saw today on this glorious day, another win for the Panthers, DeAndre Hopkins did not perform. Do not talk to me about injury. If he was hurt, he should have stayed home. If he was hurt, he should never have touched a single blade of grass on that field in North Carolina, but he did it, and the Panthers really just kept him out of the game. I would never believe that the league leader in receiving yards would do this. DeAndre Hopkins, 7 receptions for 41 yards in 60 minutes of NFL play. Did you know we had 3 players who got more yards than DeAndre Hopkins, and 2 of them had less receptions? Robbie Anderson had 8 receptions for 99 yards. He almost caught up to his 100-yard game once again. Curtis Samuel had 3 receptions for 51 yards. DJ Moore had 4 receptions for 49 yards. Let's not think too deep on this. Let's stick to straight, simple facts. These 3 receivers outplayed DeAndre Hopkins in this game. And if you want even bigger facts, we can zoom out to the whole game in general. The Carolina Panthers, in every single phase of the game, meaning offense, defense, special teams, outperformed every single position group that the Arizona Cardinals put on that field today. There is not a single player or position group that did not look fire for the Panthers. And I want to make sure I show respect to a particular position group right quick, because it's a lot of times we don't show them respect they deserve when they deserve it, but we're very quick, or at least I'm very quick, to criticize them when they have a bad game or they make a few plays here and there that don't really add up to what we want to see. This offensive line was great today. This offensive line for the Panthers really protected Teddy, not a single sack, and a really solid day for just about every single runner the Panthers handed the ball off to today, with the exception of Curtis Samuel, because we just don't know how to really use him in the run game. I would like to see it, but I don't think we actually know how to do it. You may as well just throw the ball at this point. But the O-line looked great today. The O-line looked and played elite today. There is no other way of putting it. And on the offense as a whole, every player on the offense looked impressive. From Teddy to Mike Davis, Reggie Bonnafon had a good game. I mean, all of our receivers looked really good, and we finally figured out what a tight end is. We finally figured out what a tight end is. Ian Thomas finally got a touchdown this season. Hey, he finally got a target, honestly. He wasn't really getting much love at all, and there were still some plays where Ian was wide open, and then we saw Teddy look him off. But it's all good because this Panthers team was able to accomplish something in this game against the Cardinals. We were able to confirm just how good this offense looks. Teddy Bridgewater, outside of maybe one or two kind of weird plays here and there, decision making is kind of strange, particularly that interception he threw to Pat Pete when it was Ian Thomas on a corner route being double covered. I'm not sure why he decided to force that ball to Ian Thomas. I'm not sure why Joe Brady drew up a play where we have Ian Thomas running a corner route 15 yards upfield. I don't like that kind of route for Ian. He's more of a get in the middle of the zone kind of tight end. I'm talking about 5 to 10 yards upfield, in the middle of the field, in the flats, maybe up the seam a little bit, but I wouldn't think about, throwing out too much into his route tree. Keep it kind of simple because Ian Thomas can make things happen. Just give him the ball. Just give him the ball. Don't do too much. That sideline is not where you really want to see him, especially going up the sideline. We've seen 2 interceptions in the past 2 years when we target Ian Thomas up the sideline on deep throws, especially that right sideline. I don't want to see it very much, but Teddy had a great game today. 26 of 37 for 276 yards, 2 touchdowns, that 1 pick, and he also ran in for a touchdown, that 19 or maybe it was 18 yards, where he disrespected 3 different Cardinals, shook 1 tackle off, and was just way too fast for 2 other players, and he just extended the ball in, fell into the end zone, got his 3rd touchdown on the day. Look, man, Teddy looked immaculate, okay? Teddy looked great. Mike Davis looked great, like I mentioned. 16 carries, 84 yards. That is 5.3 yards per carry. Reggie Bonnafon, 10 carries, 53 yards. That is 5.3 yards per carry. Teddy Bridgewater, 6 carries, 32 yards. Do you know how many yards per carry that is? If you guessed 5.3 yards per carry, you are a mathematician. Congratulations on your graduation from Harvard Law School. You made it. You passed the bar. Congratulations, you're a genius. Everybody on this offense looked elite. But it also makes me question a few things because the O-line's cooking. Teddy's cooking. The receiver core's cooking. The tight ends, if you actually look at them, can make moves. The running back core looks good. Our second and third running backs both look good. But then you think about CMC isn't in this scheme. But it's become very obvious this is an offensive scheme that can move up and down the field with ease. And we showed in this game that we might have gotten over our red zone woes, whatever you want to call it. I think we were 4 for 5 on red zone attempts. We scored just about every single time we got in the red zone. I think the only time we didn't score was that missed chip shot field goal from Joey Sly. He'll do that sometimes, okay? Joey Sly gonna miss something real close. It comes to territory. It's something you gotta deal with, okay? Something you gotta live with. But we look really good in the red zone. The question is, will this offense be as cohesive and as inclusive once CMC gets back? Because once C-Mac gets back, you have to basically center your offense around him. He is way too talented and he's getting paid way too much money to make him just be a 20% contributor to this offense. He has to be a centerpiece of this offense. How much does that affect how other guys play and other guys getting into a rhythm when we are watching CMC get 20, 25 touches every single game? Maybe not 20, 25, but up there. Okay, C-Mac's going to get up there. Maybe he might get around 25 touches a game. You never know. So it makes me think, okay, yeah, I'm really glad this offense is moving against anyone. We're doing some good work. This offense is moving. But when CMC comes back, will the offense look the same? I'm not saying it won't. I'm saying that there is a question to be asked because when you mess up the flow of things, even if you are putting in a better player, like C-Mac, a great player, a generational talent, when the flow of things gets messed up, we know C-Mac will get his, but will other players around him who were performing, will they also still perform the same without the same kind of rhythm and repetitions? We will see. But let's speak on this defense for a second. Let's speak on this defense that held the Cardinals to basically nothing. Right? These Cardinals could not do anything. Kyler Murray, He didn't throw 3 picks this game, but he did not look good either. 24 completions on 31 total attempts for 133 yards. He got 3 touchdowns, one of which was in garbage time. I think 2 of which were actually in garbage time because it became garbage time very, very quickly. We were up 28-7. We gave him a little some it is what it is. But Kyler Murray did not look good. And he started to run a little bit. He got a 48-yard run, late in the game, around the third quarter. It was all good. We let him have one. There was no spy, and he just used those little legs. You see, them little legs were running. They was really rotating out there. I saw Kyler Murray. He was like, I'm gone. That boy was out of there, okay? Kyler Murray was out of there. Did it matter? Not really. Got a little touchdown at the end of it, but did it really help him in the end? I mean, I guess it helped his stats. If you own Kyler Murray in fantasy, I hope you started him because he got a few yards and he got some touchdowns. He didn't get very many yards through the air, but 78 yards on the ground, where 48 of them was on that one run, and then 133 with 3 touchdowns. That's a good little solid fantasy day for Kyler Murray. But right there is where any compliment you could ever give this Cardinals team in this game full stops. Kenyon Drake, 13 carries, 35 yards, 2.7 per. Chase Edmonds, 4 carries, 16 yards, 4.0 yards per. Neither one of these dudes had a good game, and we weren't really. Were the Cardinals the number 7 team in rush offense? Weren't they monsters in the run game? I ain't see it. Someone told me that. Someone lied to me. Someone absolutely lied to me. And speaking of lies, there were a couple of lies in this game that got exposed. First off, the lie that Derrick Brown might be a bust. That was already a stupid statement to begin with, but people were actually saying that Derrick Brown might be a bust after only 2 games, after only 3 games. I had no idea where that was coming from. Derrick only had 2 total tackles in this game, 1 for a loss, but if you actually watched him play, he was getting double teamed all game, and he was leaving Brian Burns on one-on-one situations, and Brian was getting pressure. You saw YGM. People said YGM might be a bust. I don't know why that's the case. How's that possible? People call YGM a bust. He had the only strip sack fumble in this game, the only sack in this game. I think Brian had 3 hits on the quarterback, and that fumble was recovered by Trey Boston. Look, you give these boys a chance. You give Phil Snow a chance. He can scheme up a little something to bottle up what the Cardinals are doing with Kyler Murray, Kenyon Drake, Christian Kirk, and DeAndre Hopkins. You tell me that this team with this bad secondary bottled up DeAndre Hopkins? Are you serious? It looks to me like Dante Jackson is proving he might be able to be consistent. Dante had some very good plays. He had 1 PBU, and he had a really good play where he actually caused the receiver to drop the ball coming in on a play. I think Dante played very solid this game. But those are only the lies on the defensive side of the ball. Someone told me Teddy Bridgewater does not like to throw deep. I saw a lot of deep throws from Teddy Bridgewater. Someone said he only throws screens and checkdowns. They must have got him and Kyler Murray confused. All I saw Kyler Murray doing was throw screens. I saw this man, Teddy Bridgewater, push the ball upfield. I was very impressed with what I saw from him, and I was very impressed with the scheme on both sides of the ball. Joe Brady looked immaculate. He called a great game. Phil Snow, like I mentioned, finally adjusted. He showed that 2 games in a row, he could figure out ways to dial up pressure and to get guys in the right situation at the right time to make plays when they need to. All the coaches, players, backups, everyone who touched the field, I think was impressive. Not just all right, not just okay, not just, they did their job and left, got their paycheck, and they didn't hurt nobody. These dudes all looked impressive. Do not talk to me about a tank. Do not speak to me about a tank ever again. Do not disrespect my ears ever again with that T word. And that's Tank and Trevor. We ain't getting them. Have you seen the Jets? Have you seen the Broncos? If you want to watch someone lose and tank, there's a bunch of teams right now. Watch the Cowboys. If you want to see a garbage team, watch the Cowboys. Watch 500 yards look so ugly you would never believe it. You would think that Dak Prescott is. I won't. Let me get off that because I want to get real disrespectful if I speak on the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. I'm gonna get real disrespectful. Anyway, so I got for you, man. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Being told y'all I been the man. Being told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.